Hello, Iona College. We're back here with the Sports Vault with here Big Shot Rob and Armand Matteo from AM Sports. And right now, for you guys, we're going to talk a little bit of baseball. So, opening day just started this weekend, and the Mets started off their season 0-3 versus the Washington Nationals. It's been terrible for the Mets. Let me just get to all the points about them. In 3 games, Armand, they have struck out 39 times. Besides that, their bullpen has given up 11 earned runs in their first 3 games. I really don't know what to say about them. This Mets team, Sandy Alderson guaranteed them 90 wins. Guaranteed all his fans 90 wins. They are not getting 90 wins. I don't understand how weak this bullpen is. You let go of a guy like LaTroy Hawkins, a guy who had a great year for you last year in your bullpen. You let him go. And the one thing that kills me with this team is they still think Bobby Parnell is a closer. For the last 3 years, I've had to suffer going to games, and I had to deal with Met fans, especially my best friend telling me, Bobby Parnell's the one. He's the one. Bobby Parnell is not a closer, guys. It's time to find somebody new. Parnell can't handle that spot. I mean, the only good thing for the Mets in last night's loss, Curtis Granderson's bat finally came alive. He went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and RBI.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, his first 2 games were hard. It looked like he was swinging for the fences, and it's going to be a hard year for him at Citi Field because we all know Citi Field is the hardest place to hit a home run at with their deep right field, deep left, and deep center. It's no longer Yankee Stadium where the ball will hang in the air and drift in the wind for a home run.
Yeah, Curtis Grandson's going to have to change his role. He's going to have to become a contact hitter. And it's going to be hard for him to adjust because he's never been a contact hitter. So his bat is he's gonna see dropping in numbers, unfortunately. But yeah, really good point about the Mets bullpen. Honestly, you're not gonna get 90 wins if you don't have a stellar bullpen. The MLB is all about making the starting pitcher go 6 to 7 innings, effective baseball, and then the 7th, 8th, and 9 you have 3 guys who can set you up and bring home the W. And right now the Mets do not have that. And honestly, I do not see how the Mets are going to get 90 wins. At best, I can see them getting to 75. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say it.
I had them as a team who was going to win 80, and I'm coming to the conclusion they're going to be a 70-win team.
I mean, they have some good things. Like I love Juan Lagares. I think he could be an impactful player. He has great range in the outfield. He can cover a lot of ground. He's speedy, and he's a good contact hitter. And like they have some good guys. Curtis Ransom was a good pickup for his name, and David Wright is just a leader, one of the best players at his position. I mean, there's some talent on this ball club.
Yeah, there definitely is, and they're starters.
They're starters,
they
and
they
have
bad
a great
whatsoever.
Yeah,
and you know what? It's a shame that these starters are giving up about 3 earned runs a game right now, and the Mets can't put runs on the scoreboard. And then not only do they keep a close game, but then the relievers just blow it apart. Glenn Rice has started off terrible. The other day, walking a run in. Yesterday, giving up 2 earned runs. And this is a guy that I kind of admired when he first came up last year. I thought, oh, he's a pretty decent lefty. I'm not sold on him. The Mets, the one person I like in this Mets bullpen is Jose Valverde. Came in the other game on the first day, opening day, 1 in the 3rd innings with 3 strikeouts, no earned runs, and he got his job done.
I mean, it could only just be a struggling. It's only 3 games in. There's 159 games to go. There's a lot of ways to go. So I mean, there's a lot of time to learn from your mistakes, and it's just a bad series. They'll get it going though.
Yeah, hopefully
Hopefully they can answer these questions though.
We know the people from Queens. We all know they want to see their Mets in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They haven't seen the Mets in the playoffs since '06.
Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, Carlos Beltran strikeout curveball, and then at the end of '07, '08 just falling apart.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? These fans, they deserve a lot. They go out there every year. I go to Citi Field a lot. I'm a huge Yankee fan, but I admire the Mets. And you know what? I would like to see them have a winning season. But it's going to be a long year. But I think they could get about 75 to 80 wins.
I mean, they're not playing in a very competitive division. The NL East, besides the Braves and the Nationals, you should be able to beat the Marlins. And the Phillies looking good in their first 3 games, but they're not that good either. It's not like the AL East when all 5 teams are capable of going 81 and 81.
Yeah, the AL East is the craziest division. When it comes September, that is the craziest division, and you'll go back and you'll be like, we shouldn't have been on that losing streak in July or August.
Yeah.
Because come September, these teams will eat you alive, and I literally mean that. They will eat you alive. How many times have you seen teams lose 2 games, and then you'll see the Devil Rays go on an 8-game winning streak in that division? And their Devil Rays upset me a lot because they always knock my Yankees out, and the Yankees have struggled hard against them. But
It's not Tampa, it's Baltimore.
yeah.
Either or.
Well, other news in baseball, the Yankees finally ended their 2-game losing streak to open the year and beat the Astros 4-2. Now, this is a great game. Nova pitched 5 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs, not bad. However, he did have 5 walks. David
that's not
Robertson,
good.
yeah, not what I expected out of him. David Robertson got his first save, now replacing Mariano Rivera. I mean, this Yankee game, it's looking good. Their team looks pretty balanced right now. You know, a lot of people were getting upset that they were 0-2 losing to a weak Astro team. But people had to start looking. The Astros are a young team. How many years have they been getting beat? They've been getting beat since Clemens and Pettit left. And these teams have a lot of prospects. Jose Altuve is young.
Oh, he's one of the best in his position.
Jason Castro, not many people look at him.
He has a bat.
I just learned out about him this year. He is a bat, and he's going to be a killer.
Honestly, I think Dexter Fowler was a good pickup for them. He played
definitely
great.
is.
He rocked Kuroda the other night. Then he had a double off him, following his next at bat. The only thing that questions me about the Yankees is the Houston Astros did not have a good pitching staff, and how the Yankees, they were only able to score 4 runs. 4 was the most runs they scored in all 3 games. That's not a very good number.
Yeah.
What happens when you face Tampa Bay?
What happens when you play Boston?
When you play
When
Boston,
you play
Tampa,
Boston-
Detroit, all these teams with good pitching staffs, if you can't manage more than 4 runs against the Houston Astros third string starting pitcher, that's not good.
Yeah, it definitely isn't.
But they'll get their bats going.
I hope they do, because when you play a team like Boston, when we watch those Yankee games, those games are not about pitching. Those games are about who's hitting. Because those Yankee games, you'll see Boston put up 10 runs, the Yankees put up 11. See another game where Boston
Yeah,
will go.
both hitting ballparks.
They go, yeah. Fenway Park is crazy. Yankee Stadium's crazy. I mean, this Yankee team, they're going to be good this year.
Oh, yeah.
I
have
have
them.
a feeling.
What do you have them going?
I have them finishing. I think they could finish first or second in the division.
I have them going like 94 and 68, 95 and 67 in that range. I have them going to the AL pennant, but I have them losing to Detroit.
I mean, they definitely should. When you look at the amount of lefties the Yankees have, and where right field is going to be a joke for Carlos Beltran and people like Brian McCann.
Oh yeah.
They are going to be ripping the ball. Mark Teixeira's fully healed. His wrist is finally put together. And you know what? He's another guy who has a killer bat. I'm a little bit worried about Jacoby Ellsbury. I like Jacoby Ellsbury.
Not worth his contract, though. I'm sorry.
No, his contract's not worth it. The thing is are we going to see the Jacoby Ellsbury who's always on the field? Or are we going to see that guy who has the plague of injuries and that's going to kill them with that
I hate to say it,
contract?
but I'm going to say it's the second thing that you said. I think he's going to get... I don't see him playing more than 110 games this year.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a good
I
guess.
mean, not 100. I mean, not more than 60 wins. 60 games, sorry.
You know what? I actually could see that
I said
too.
it backwards.
No, that's fine. I could actually see that too because he's a guy in Boston who was always hurt.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, I expect a lot out of him this year. You know, this is last year. And you know what? When you look back as a kid and you grow up and you're like, wow, this young 19-year-old kid who's putting up all this work and everybody wants to be like him, and just having to watch his farewell tour, it's pretty sad right now. Because Derek Jeter is probably one of the best all-time Yankees. He's on the top 10 in their list of best all-time Yankees. And he is one of the most respectable baseball players. We saw last night at the game, took a baseball, a guy tried to take a ball from a girl, and he handed it to a little girl. The Astros gave him a nice ceremony where they gave him a cowboy hat. They gave him cowboy boots with his number on it.
Those are pretty ugly boots, though.
They were ugly boots. Yeah,
I don't know if Jeter's going to be wearing those.
It makes you think, though, what are we going to give him at Yankee Stadium? We saw what we gave him when he got 3,000 hits. What is he going to get at Yankee Stadium?
He might get a free house.
I hope to get tickets to
Maybe
that
a
game.
Lambo.
I really hope to get tickets to that game because, you know what, Derek Jeter, this is his last farewell tour.
Yeah.
And he's my all-time favorite Yankee, and he's just a guy I really respected growing up, and I wish him the best, and I really do have high expectations for him this year. He wants that World Series ring, and you know what? I have a feeling he is going to get it.
You know what? Yeah, like as you said, from 19 years old, Derek Jeter was able. He came in the league, no one knew who he was, and then he made a name for himself, and he was able to maintain his reputation. He grew into being the true role model of how a favorite player or an inspirational player at a shortstop position on the New York Yankees should be. He was a true veteran and a respectable leader, and just a great figure in the sports world, and yeah, it's gonna be sad to watch him go. I think Shearer's gonna have a pretty productive year. I think I can see him. Now he's not gonna be batting 300 like his
No.
best years, but maybe 280. I can see him 280 hitting about like 12 home runs, 60 RBIs. You know?
Yeah, I have him hitting about 8 to 10 home runs.
Yeah, 10.
Maybe 60 to 65
Yep.
RBIs.
Good numbers.
But when we talk about Derek Jeter, there are not that many players like him against the Boston Red Sox who will jump into the stands like that, dive for
Oh,
a
yeah.
ball like that. Nobody will see a real man do something like that. And Derek Jeter, Derek Jeter is the most respected man in baseball, and to this day, he is the greatest role model to all kids. But you know what?
Definitely.
Derek Jeter, good luck on this last trip. And you know what? You're gonna get this last chance to get that title. I know he is.
One thing I want to bring up to you about possible Yankee struggles down the road is production out of CC Sabathia being the ace, going against the aces of Detroit, matching up with Verlander or matching up with David Price or matching up with Yu Darvish. These guys are going to outshine him. And the Yankees, CC's going to give up runs because these teams like Detroit and Texas, they're going to hit.
Yeah.
And they hit CC. And he might give up 4 or 5 runs. And I don't see the Yankees scoring 4 or 5 off Darvish or Verlander or Price. How are the Yankees going to... How is CC going to find his old CC-like self?
Yeah, I was just talking to my dad about this, too. The other night when he opened up Armand, only 15 pitches hit 90 miles per hour or more.
And they're all up in the zone.
All up in the
All
zone.
up in the zone.
And my dad said it's coming to a point where he has to change it up now. He has to use different pitches. You gotta use more. You gotta use your slider. You gotta use your
Yeah.
changeup.
And he doesn't break inside. He's always leaving it outside. And that's any hitter loves hitting outside off the plate.
Oh yes, definitely.
You have to jam him inside. Only the best hitters in the league hit inside balls better than anyone.
And you think like him losing all this weight would have actually helped him out more?
I
But
think it
it's
does. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm sorry. He needs his weight
Yeah, it's he
because
is
it
not,
provides movement on his pitches. You know.
I'm actually aggravated with the contract we gave him.
No,
That
he wasn't worth
extension,
it.
He's not worth it now when you look at it. At the time he was because nobody was stopping CC Sabathia when he pitched. He was one of the top guys, a fantasy baseball pitcher that I was taking all the time. And now he's really lost it. I mean, now the thing is, like with today's game, Tanaka's pitching, and
Oh, I think he's have a stellar performance.
I have him going about 6 innings. And the one thing that's going to be key is his splitter. And everybody's been
yeah.
saying it's in spring training. Nobody is touching
that
that.
drops.
Oh, it is amazing.
Great movement on that. No, I see him going 6 innings. That's a great that's a good example, Rob. I think that he'll go 6 innings. I think he'll give up 2 runs at most. I think he's have a great performance.
Yeah, he definitely will. I don't know. I kind of have this feeling like he'll give up no earned runs. I don't know. There's just one.
That would be
me
insane.
feeling-
His rookie debut doing that. Hey, it's possible. I mean, all you got to really worry about is Edwin Encarnacion.
And Jose Batista.
Oh, Jose. Yeah.
But I mean, Jose Batista, give him that splitter.
He's on
right?
steroids, though. I don't care what anyone says. Going from 8 home runs to 62. Please.
Yeah, in only a matter of a
Please.
short amount of years.
Please.
Don't get me started on that one because I've gotten into so many arguments about
Jose
that.
Batista.
Other news in baseball: Clayton Kershaw is out the next 2 to 3 weeks with an inflamed back muscle. Now, Mom, what are your feelings? Like, I know me and you were debating about this in class. What are your
I mean,
feelings about
it's a loss. 2 or 3 weeks. That could be 4 possible losses for the Dodgers. But over the course of an MLB season, there's 162 games. It's 6 months of baseball. Hopefully, no results come from it that it's an unexpected injury that's worse than previously intended. You know what I mean? Like if they set it back to like 2 months or something, maybe when he was the time on the disabled list, he didn't recover properly or something, then that would be bigger news. But right now, I don't think that it's not that big of a deal. Let him take a little time off, let him recover whatever problems he's going through. What's his problem? His
He has
hamstring?
an inflamed back muscle right now.
Inflamed back muscle. Okay. So I don't think it'll be that severe of an injury, but yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. If it was 2 to 3 months, it would be.
Here's my reason why I'm taking it as a big deal. Besides Ryu and Greinke,
Yeah, it's a weak rotation. Yeah.
it's pretty weak. Dan Herron, he's that kind of guy who used to be
Yeah,
pretty
Diamondback
decent.
days, right?
Yeah, Diamondback days. But then he went to the AL, went to the Nationals. But he's not a consistent pitcher. He'll have one game where he'll be this complete Dan Herron you haven't seen. Then the other game he'll give 8 earned runs in like 3 innings. So this is the only reason why I'm worried. Clayton Kershaw, the last 3 years, has gone 51 and 23, Armand. And this guy, he has 2 Cy Youngs under his belt. First game of the year, he's 1-0, 135 ERA in 6 2/3 innings. I just feel he's really important to this team. He's going to be much needed because just his presence. Nobody touches Clayton
He's the
Kershaw.
best pitcher in baseball.
He is the best pitcher in baseball. And you know what? He got that contract that was
He's
widely
worth
deserved.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why, Rob, that's why this putting him on the table for 2 to 3 weeks is good for the Dodgers right now. It's good because he's going to work out whatever problems he has. He's going to have time to recover. And he's going to come back, and he's going to shine like he always has.
You just got to hope, though, that it's not like one of those injuries where they say it's 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
and
what
then
I
it's
said
a
before,
rehab.
yeah.
In other news with baseball, well, me and Armand are going to give you 3 players that we think have been hot so far to start this year. You want to start off? You want me to start off?
You go.
Okay. So my first player is Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox. Now, guys, I told you last week, this is a definite fantasy sleeper. He's brand new in the league. He's a rookie. He's been 5 for 12 so far this year. 2 doubles, 1 triple, 5 RBIs, 2 walks. His bat is just on fire. Ryu from the Dodgers, 2 games so far. He's given up 0 runs, 12 innings pitched. You know, a lot of people always say that players go into a sophomore slump, but he definitely does not look like that. He looks like the Ryu we saw last year, and he wants a championship this year. And last but not least, Robinson Cano of the Seattle Mariners. 3 games so far. He's been 5 for 11 with 2 runs, 1 double, 1 RBI, and 4 walks.
Boo.
His bat is just
Joe
so
Robinson.
smooth. The only reason why I think he's hot with this, his on base percentage, Armand. He is a guy that always gets on base.
He's gonna have a great year.
I mean, me, you, and Joe will always hate him for leaving the Yankees, but you can't take away how good of a player he is.
Yeah, and talk about Robinson Cano. What about his teammate Justin Smoke? He has 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. In the first, was it 3-0?
Yeah,
They swept the Angels, right? And
yeah.
this guy
3-1 on my bad. They lost last
3-1. They lost last night. Okay, but Justin Smoke, that guy has some pop in his bat, and he's gonna have to hopefully he can protect Cano in the lineup and be that other bat that Cano can work with to score some runs. And Solarte on the Yankees, the minor league prospect they pulled up. He's playing third base. I like the way he played last night. He had a really quick glove in the field, made some nice catches. He was able to get on base, and he's pretty speedy around the base paths. And I don't know. I think he could be a good fill-in for Kelly Johnson time to time. And my other person would be Hiroki Kuroda. I thought he pitched a really good game the other night. He really did. Other than Dexter Fowler hitting him off the wall and then at the park, Kuroda pitched a great game, and I expect him to be that Kuroda from the previous 4 to 5 months that he was, when he was that Cy Young caliber player. I do not expect him to be how he was the last month of the season. I hope all you baseball fans don't expect that, because Kuroda's going to prove you all wrong.
Well,
What do you think about that, Rob? What do you think about Kuroda?
I think he's going to be good. He's a guy who gives you innings. He'll work 6 innings for you a game.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? He's getting old in age. Last year he did struggle come September, but he did give them a solid. He did go solid from April till August.
You know how I know Kuroda can work out jams and he'll be fine, because he always keeps the ball low. He always keeps the ball low. His sinker drops, and that's a good picture. If you keep anything low in the zone, you're gonna find yourself good results.
Yeah, he definitely
And he
is.
pitched good the other night. The Yankees just couldn't bring the bats.
Yeah, he's going to be a big part to this rotation this year,
Mhm.
especially if they want to make a run to the
I
championship.
think all 4 of them are. Pineda had a great spring.
hmm The only thing you got to worry about him though is
see if
the
he can go
innings
far
limit.
in the games. Yes.
Because now apparently
Mm-hmm.
they were talking. I was reading on Bleacher Report. There's going to be an innings limit on him.
Probably 5.
And
a
they were
game.
saying maybe they should have brought him up come June or July. This way you have him at least for the postseason. Because right now, My thing is, I think you gotta let this guy pitch. You gotta let him.
No, you do.
go.
And if anything, he'll pitch 4 to 5 good innings, maybe give up a run or two, and then you have Adam Warren come in. And Adam Warren's been a good reliever all last year, and he could be a good long reliever for them.
He definitely can.
So that's probably what Joe Girardi will do. He'll have Adam Warren and Pineda split the outing. You know what I mean? In the
Yeah.
fifth hole.
I mean, this Yankee team should be fun to watch. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to be going on to our third segment right after this commercial break.